Please rise if you are able, and students, please remove your caps as Adela Holohan, a member of your class, the class of 2024, leads us in singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets in glee, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Warm thanks, Adela, for that beguiling rendition of our national anthem. The 189th commencement of Gettysburg College will be opened with the posting of the flag of the class of 2024. All right, class, you may be seated now. And the Director of Religious and Spiritual Life and our college chaplain, Chaplain Bright, will now offer the land acknowledgement and follow with the invocation.
Good morning. We begin our ceremony today with an acknowledgement of the land on which we stand and the people who steward it across time and generations. Gettysburg College recognizes the connections Indigenous people have to this land and acknowledge the impact of settler colonialism. We will honor Indigenous past and present to ensure vibrant futures. We commit to deepen our relationship with the land and the human and other than human relatives with whom it is shared. Won't you pray with me? To the rock who is higher than I, great God of light and time, weaver of dreams, incline your ear to what we say while we and there. Do not pass us by here at Gettysburg College. Turn your eyes toward your little ones gathered here. We smolder with anticipation of change and charge. We are restless for our destiny in your sight. Make us ready to receive one another in radical ways. Having been consequently educated, let our hearts be strangely warmed and even broken for the things that break yours. Both the beautiful and ugly truths. Let the ripples of our lives build waves that make good trouble. In this moment, wash away every boundary and barrier to our beneficence, seeing every human neighbor in your heart, O God, that we might celebrate the dawn of a new journey, always rejoicing that because of our time here, we will never have to go alone. Amen and Ashe. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium President Bob Iuliano.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our 189th commencement ceremonies at Gettysburg College. A special welcome to our Gettysburg College parents, families, friends here with us, and most importantly, to our soon-to-be graduates of the class of 2024. I've had a chance to talk with many of you over the past several weeks, this extraordinary class, and I realize the sea of emotions that must be coursing through you right now. A bit of joy, nostalgia, perhaps even a sense of relief. Yes, your grades are in, this is happening, you will graduate today. I hope you likewise feel a real sense of pride in what you've accomplished. We ask a lot of our students, but you have not only met, but surpassed our highest expectations. And in doing so, you are leaving behind an indelible set of footprints on this campus for generations to follow. On behalf of our entire Gettysburg College community, I want to thank you for how you have helped shape the college over these past 4 years. One more time, family and friends, will you please join me in extending our graduates a hearty congratulations. I would also like to take this moment to acknowledge and to thank the many Gettysburgians who have helped you arrive at this point, those who have fostered your growth as a student and as a person. I am talking, of course, about our dedicated faculty and staff. From the classrooms to the laboratories to the playing fields and the performance stages, these committed individuals have reconceived the contours of your Gettysburg experience. They breathe life into our mission. They see in our students what our students often cannot see in themselves. We need people like that in our lives. We need people who believe in us. And this time, I'd ask that you join me in thanking our devoted faculty and staff for all they do for this remarkable community. At the risk of starting off at the wrong foot with many in the audience, I will admit that I am a lifelong Boston Red Sox fan. The Red Sox, and I say this with all of the objectivity that any sports fan has, is the most storied franchise in all of sports. I see broad agreement on that. Founded way back in 1901. For a team that's been in steady existence for more than 120 years, it's very hard for something novel to occur. And yet something novel did just occur a little more than a month ago. And let me tell you the story about Cameron Boozer. Cameron Boozer is a pitcher. From an early stage, baseball scouts were enamored by his seemingly limitless potential. But Boozer experienced more than his share of bad breaks. Injury after injury in high school. He blew out his arm after just a few innings in D1 baseball. He then transferred to a community college, only to ride the bench as he recovered from multiple surgeries. Still, talent is talent, and the Minnesota Twins decided to take a chance on Boozer. They signed him to a minor league deal, hoping to tap into his potential. Finally, my big break, Boozer thought. Well, things didn't work out much better for him as a pro, in part because of some bad choices on his part, as he acknowledged. He was suspended. He underwent more surgeries. The guy was even hit by a car. After 5 arduous years in the minors, bouncing from team to team, Boozer finally called it quit and gave up on a sport that he loved more than it loved him back. He went home, became a carpenter, began coaching youth baseball. It's a good life, to be sure, just not the one he dreamed of when he was a little boy playing catch in the backyard, and certainly not the one he dreamed of when he was a college student like you all. Class of 2024, my question for you today is this: what will you do when your dream pushes back? At the urging of a friend, and after several years away from the game, Boozer decided to give baseball another try. This time, he came at it with a different frame of mind, focusing less on getting to the majors and more on the opportunity to do what he truly loved. He spent 4 more seasons in the minors, and then, just a few weeks ago, something wholly unexpected happened, something that had never happened in the history of the modern era of baseball for the Red Sox. At 31 years old, Boozer was called up to the majors and appeared in the game, the oldest true rookie to pitch for the Boston Red Sox since 1947. The brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. These aren't my words. These are the words of Prince Rinaldi of Genovia from the movie The Princess Diaries, a film produced by our esteemed commencement speaker, Deborah Marden Chase. While I don't know whether Boozer is familiar with the quote or whether even he's seen the movie, what I do know is that he lived these words to the fullest. He could have decided, as he did for a time, to let the many obstacles in his life define him, to take the easier path. He didn't. He dared to endure, to sacrifice, to overcome, to live. And the reward, I believe, will not be found in his pitching performance, which is but a fleeting moment in time, but instead in what it represents and why it matters. Again, the brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. This, too, is true for our commencement speaker. Throughout her distinguished career, Ms. Chase had plenty of opportunities to give up or give in, as she entered an industry where there were very few people who looked like her in front of the camera, let alone anyone who looked like her behind the camera. And yet, what did she do when her dream pushed back? She dared to endure, to sacrifice, to overcome, to live. And as a result, Ms. Chase changed the entertainment industry forever. And I am truly honored that you will have the opportunity to hear from Ms. Chase about her inspiring story. At Gettysburg College, we know something about what it means to leave a consequential life. A few miles from where we're gathered, President Lincoln memorialized ground that witnessed thousands of young soldiers give their last full measure of devotion in service to something greater than themselves. It's a lesson that continues to resonate on this campus, one that informs our most basic values as Gettysburgians. Graduates, perhaps you remember your first-year walk, even if it happened in your second year. Together, you followed the footsteps of Gettysburg students who came before you, those who walked with alongside President Lincoln in 1863 to hear his iconic address. At the National Cemetery, Professor Rilm Botwonis reflected on what Lincoln's words meant to him growing up in Lithuania behind the Iron Curtain. Still to this day, Rim offered a perspective that added such rich texture to Lincoln's address and its significance to all people from all nations. On the heels of a pandemic that had thrown our world upside down, including by canceling or disrupting your own high school graduation, and faced with the fissures of a changing nation, Rim observed, and I quote, "You may ask yourself, what can be done here? Can we even begin to tackle these daunting issues from a small town in south central Pennsylvania?" And the answer is yes. It is as timely as ever to dedicate ourselves on this great battlefield to the great task remaining before us. Class of 2024, today you will walk across the stage and out into the world as Gettysburg College graduates. The challenges confronting our nation are immense. Indeed, Lincoln's dream of a better world continues to elude us. Our work remains unfinished. May you choose to dedicate yourself to the great task remaining before us. May you dare to endure, to sacrifice, to overcome, to live in service to something far greater than yourself. I know you will. You are ready. I cannot wait to see all you will accomplish. I wish you the very best in the next chapter of your lives. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce the senior class speaker, Regan Reitmeyer. Regan, you have fans here. Regan will graduate with a Bachelor of Arts in Business Organization and Management. She is from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. She learned about Gettysburg College at an early age, hearing stories about the campus from her uncle, Chris Reno, a proud member of the class of 2000. When it came for Regan to make her own college decision, she felt an immediate connection with our campus community. Regan's Gettysburg College journey began on the athletic field, but it's blossomed into so much more. Over the past 4 years, she has immersed herself in everything an education in the liberal arts and sciences has to offer. She has taken a variety of courses in and out of her major and minor, including her favorite class, her rational behavior capstone with Professor Matamoros, where she learned about human behavior and how to navigate the nuances of the workforce. Reagan spent 3 years on the women's lacrosse team, helping the Bullets win the Centennial Conference Championship in 2022 and guiding the team to back-to-back appearances in the national semifinals. And by the way, the team is playing today and competing in the national NCAA tournament as well. Off the field, she took a lead role in her sorority, Delta Gamma, as the chapter's director of social events this past year. She has served as a peer learning associate for the management department for the last 3 semesters, and in the fall of her junior year, she studied abroad in Florence, Italy. Reagan founded and served as the editor of the 1863 magazine, a digital pop culture and fashion hub that publishes the voice of creatives and aspiring writers in the Gettysburg campus community. She has also worked as a writing intern for the now sourcing infographic design agency and was a buying intern at Burlington last summer. Upon graduation, Reagan will pursue a master's degree in public relations and corporate communications at the New York University School of Professional Studies. Please join me in welcoming our class of 2024 student speaker, Reagan Reitmeyer.
Thank you, President Giuliano. The number 24 has always been foreign to me. As a kindergartner, using the email rreitmeyer24@dasd.org meant nothing. Hell, I probably couldn't even count to 24 at that age, let alone conceptualize that it was the number that was my graduation year. Now, standing here today with all of the momentum that has been flowing and chugging along since 2020, if just for a moment coming to a silent halt, it's nothing short of an honor and a privilege to stand in front of you today and speak with you. I'd like to begin my remarks by sharing a story of an abnormally warm, beautiful Sunday just a few months ago. On this particular day, I sat around a small table in the backyard of my house that I still live in now, joined by a few neighbors, housemates, and friends. We hovered around this table, playing cards and soaking in the rare February sun. We had decided to play a friendly game of spoons. For those who are not familiar, spoons is a card game. The goal is to be the first player to collect 4 of a kind. Once a player achieves that perfect hand, they grab a spoon from the middle of the table, triggering a race between the rest of the players to claim the remaining spoons. It's kind of like musical chairs, and it's a lot of fun. As the sun climbed higher into the sky, a new round was about to begin, and I was dealt my starting hand. Much to my surprise, as I carefully flipped my cards over, being sure to keep them hidden from the prying eyes around me, it dawned on me that I had been dealt a perfect hand. 9 of spades, 9 of hearts, 9 of clubs, 9 of diamonds. With my best poker face on, I began the round. But instead of picking up and discarding cards like the rest of my eager friends, I quickly grabbed the spoon nearest to me. I had been dealt a perfect hand. Everyone scrambled to follow suit. My good friend Bobby, sitting beside me, burst out, "How is that even possible?" His tone half shocked, half impressed, as if I had somehow made a deal with the card-playing devil to achieve such a feat. "No one is dealt a perfect hand," he insisted. No one is dealt a perfect hand. It's a statement that stuck with me, begging the question, what is a perfect hand? Aside from the obvious run of 9s that I had thrown down in front of me, what constitutes the stars aligning so much that you need not make a single change before finding success? What powers were at play that led you to this moment in time, meeting you right where you are when you needed it most? It's a fairly profound idea that I just pulled from a simple game of cards, but one that I am so confident reigns true. In life, the word perfect is often used to describe things like the perfect storm, pitching a perfect game, sticking the landing, and earning a perfect 10. A definition of perfect that is better equated to the outcome, the destination, something magical like today. Perfect is the taste of Gatorade rolling off your brow after a Centennial Conference championship on Clark Field. Perfect is the view of your own feet as you bow to the crowd following your final senior recital. Perfect is the final brushstroke on a painting that just 2 weeks ago had you in tears, but alas, perfect is how your mom would describe that same piece, remembering how she used to hang your artwork on the fridge with the same pride in you that has not once wavered. Perfect should not be used to describe legitimate perfection, but rather it should be used to celebrate a properly imperfect journey, one that concluded just as the universe intended it to, flaws, scrapes, bruises, and all. You sitting here before me today is your perfect hand. It is you revealing your cards, throwing them down on the table in triumph, and grabbing what is rightfully yours. You earned it, and that is what we are celebrating today. It feels appropriate at this point to say our thank yous, a gesture that I'm sure today has already been full of. Thank you for the flowers. Thank you for the card. Thank you for calling. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Grandma, for leaving a mark of lipstick in the shape of your kiss on my cheek. Thank you for excusing me from the table while I go wash that off. I'd invite you at this time to turn to the people to your left and to your right, the person whose back of their head you're staring at and the person gazing ahead at yours. To these people around you, take a moment now to say thank you, as your classmates and families have played a key part in your success here at Gettysburg. It would be an injustice for me to stand up here and give this speech without acknowledging the role that the people around me have played in my experience here at Gettysburg. Gettysburg College, an institution founded on the grounds where all men were declared equal, an institution that prides itself on providing a consequential education, one that guides students to gain a greater insight into who they are, what they want to accomplish, and how they will define and then lead their own consequential life. An education that, much like the sacred land that surrounds us today, you cannot find anywhere else on earth. Although I have now spent 4 years of my life living in Gettysburg, I've never been much of a history buff at all. However, I do live with one of the most dedicated history majors I've ever met, a true champion for the Civil War Institute, and someone from whom I learned what it means to be disciplined. I share a bedroom wall with a health science major who, since the day I met her, has continued to teach me what it means to be fearless in the face of challenge and hardship. From her, I learned resilience. I cooked dinner and walked to class alongside business and public policy majors who have grown to know me better than I know myself, picking me up on my way down and lifting me higher than I've ever dreamt possible alone. As the sun rises tomorrow, as this chapter closes and the next one begins, who in this crowd comes to your mind? A liberal arts education means that we will leave this place as some of the most well-rounded learners in the country. To me, a liberal arts education means that while we all started this chapter as individuals, we now leave this experience as a beautiful mosaic, a conglomerate of the people we have met, the experiences we have endured, and the knowledge we have gathered in a matter of 4 short years. My mosaic might not look like yours, and yours doesn't look like his, and his doesn't look like theirs. That is the beauty of who we have become here at Gettysburg. We will take this unique mosaic of self along with us onto our next journey. To my people here today, and to the entire Gettysburg community, wherever I go, I will take a piece of you with me, and for that, I am forever grateful for what I have gained thanks to you. An important piece of my mosaic is my good friend Emma. Emma is a physics major and a math and Spanish double minor. To say she inspires me would be a massive understatement, and I couldn't help but include a small piece of her passion in this speech. With that being said, I hope Emma will still be my friend after I crash and burn my way through a quick lesson in quantum physics. Schrodinger's cat is the name that was given to a famous thought experiment that aimed to demonstrate the existence of a multiverse. You put the cat in the box under unpredictable subatomic conditions and make observations. The final state of the cat is unknown until we open the lid and perceive the reality, the universe, before us. You and I here today are Schrodinger's cats, And back in 2020, your lid was opened. You graduated high school in the midst of a global pandemic, and the rest is history. No pun intended. According to these theories in quantum physics, there are countless other universes in which your lid was opened and the world ahead looked entirely different. Perhaps in our adjacent universe, we didn't take our first steps on this campus wearing masks. Maybe in another universe, you decided to pursue an entirely different degree from the one printed on your diploma. Maybe in the 7th, 10th, 50th, you never went to Gettysburg at all, unaware of the greatness you have already achieved in this here universe today. All of this is to say that being who you are in this very universe is a blessing. Even if some days you wish you were in another box, one with a lid that has yet to be opened, or maybe a lid that was opened in a world where your 8 a.m. didn't exist, it is a privilege to be experiencing the infinite possibilities of the here and now. After all that our class has been through, it is especially true that you would never be the person you are today if you hadn't gone through and survived every minute that passed you by up until now. A beautiful butterfly effect that I encourage you to cherish and take along with you as an integral part of your mosaic. In short, Bobby was right. No one is dealt a perfect hand. Better yet, perfection will never be reached as long as you continue forward in your pursuit of gaining, acquiring, growing, and becoming the best version of yourself, a mere checkpoint of said journey that we are basking in today. Despite my aforementioned lack of knowledge in the history department, it is still an incredible privilege to give a speech on the same hallowed ground that Abraham Lincoln once delivered his historic address. In his immortal address, he is quoted saying, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here." If there is one thing I encourage you to hang on tight to from this experience, it is what you did here. Even in the simplest moments, you made your mark on this school, your people, yourself, and your future in ways beyond description. In the fleeting minutes we have left as the undergraduate class of 2024, you have nothing left to do. The to-do list is empty. The Google Calendar is bare. I invite you now to do nothing but take it all. Take in what things look like, what they smell like, how they sound, how they feel. Hold on to the feeling of the rain drying up on your face, even the sweat on your legs. Remember the time spent here laughing, eating, crying, dancing, laying, studying, running late, smiling, sleeping, partying, hugging, kissing, holding on tight, living. Because trust me, you're not going to want to forget this. Thank you, and congratulations. I would now like to ask Aaliyah Ellerby and Owen LaBruna, our senior philanthropy interns, to come to the podium.
Hello, everyone. My name is Owen LaBruna.
And I am Aaliyah Ellerby, and we are members of the class of 2024 and co-chairs of the Senior Class Gift Campaign. The Senior Class Gift Committee selected the Student Emergency Fund as our priority to support during the campaign. The Student Emergency Fund is a campus resource to provide timely financial support to students in emergency situations. We are excited to share the results of our successful campaign with you all today. This year, 105 members of the class of 2024 participated in the Senior Class Gift Campaign, contributing to a total of $2,807 to the Student Emergency Fund, sports teams, academic departments, the Gettysburg Fund, and a variety of other impactful places on campus.
On behalf of the entire Senior Class Gift Committee, we would like to thank all of you who contributed to this campaign. Giving back helps support future student-faculty research, students in need of financial assistance, and invest in the academic and co-curricular programs that help build our community. You took your first steps towards being involved alumni by supporting the areas on campus that positively affected your Gettysburg experience. Congratulations to everyone graduating today, and thank you for your support. We hope to see you all at 9.
Our special thanks to Aaliyah and Owen, the Senior Class Gift Committee, and all who contributed to this campaign. You have continued a tradition of service to Gettysburg College, begun by classes before you, and for future classes to emulate. It is now my privilege to introduce our board chair, class of 90, Lauren Wise-Bright.
Thank you. Mr. President, it is now my pleasure to present 2 candidates for honorary degrees. These individuals have demonstrated a commitment to excellence and to the values and ideals inherent in the liberal arts tradition through their work and through their lives. Dr. Andrew Delbanco, please come forward. Mr. President, I have the honor to present Andrew Delbanco for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Good afternoon. Dr. Andrew Delbanco, we are grateful to have you join us today on this momentous occasion. During a time when the value of a liberal arts education is being called into question nationally, and yet has never been more essential to who we are and where we're going, your leadership as president of the Teagle Foundation and as a member of the faculty at Columbia University for nearly 4 decades serves as inspiration to our graduates, our faculty and staff, and so many others. After earning your bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees at Harvard, you began your distinguished teaching career at your alma mater before joining the faculty at Columbia in 1985. You have helped develop the minds and passions of countless students and have served as a leader among your faculty colleagues as Julian Clarence Levi Chair in the Humanities, Mendelssohn Family Director of American Studies, and most recently as the inaugural Alexander Hamilton Chair of American Studies, beginning in 2015. Your scholarly work covers a wide range of topics, from American literature and history to contemporary issues in higher education. Your most recent book, The War Before the War, Fugitive Slaves and the Struggle for America's Soul from the Revolution to the Civil War, was awarded the Anisfield Wolf Prize for books that have made important contributions to our understanding of racism and human diversity, the Lionel Trilling Book Award, and the Mark Linton History Prize, sponsored by the Columbia Journalism School and the Nieman Foundation for Journalism at Harvard, for a work of history on any subject that best combines intellectual or scholarly distinction with felicity of expression. You have contributed essays to the New York Review of Books, the New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal, among other notable outlets. Your exceptional contributions to higher education and your impact on society more broadly have garnered high praise. In 2001, you were named America's Best Social Critic by Time magazine. And in 2006, you were given the Great Teacher Award by the Society of Columbia Graduates. President Barack Obama awarded you the National Humanities Medal in 2012, and in 2022, you delivered the Jefferson Lecture, the highest honor the federal government bestows for distinguished intellectual achievement in the humanities. Since becoming president of the Teagle Foundation in 2018, you have led the charge in championing the liberal arts at colleges and universities across the nation and empowering students of all backgrounds to realize their fullest potential through experiential learning in and out of the classroom. Dr. Delbanco, in recognition of your remarkable accomplishments and contributions to education, and with deepest appreciation of your presence here today, we are proud to present you with the highest honor we can bestow.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of the Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you, Andrew Delbanco, the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights and privileges thereto. Congratulations.
Ms. Deborah Martin Chase, please come forward. Mr. President, I have the honor to present Deborah Martin Chase for the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Deborah Martin Chase, we are honored to have you with us today as we honor your impact on society as an entertainment icon and trailblazer. In an industry where longevity is an outlier, you have not only persevered, but excelled for more than 3 decades, bringing to life empowering stories about the human spirit. It is your determined spirit that has led you to this day to share your inspiring story with our graduates and entire Gettysburg College community. We are deeply grateful. After a successful start of your career as a lawyer in New York and Texas, you charted your own course, fulfilling your childhood dream of working in the entertainment industry. Upon starting your career as an executive at Columbia Pictures, you went on to run Denzel Washington's production company, Mundy Lane Entertainment, and Whitney Houston's Brown House Productions, before launching your own company, Martin Chase Productions, in 2000. Martin Chase Productions was previously affiliated with the Walt Disney Company, making you the first Black female producer to have a deal with a major studio. Today, your production company has an overall deal with Universal Television, a division of the NBC Universal Television Group. You were also the first Black woman to produce a film that grossed over $100 million, and you created beloved multi-film franchises, including The Princess Diaries, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and The Cheetah Girls. To date, your films have grossed over $500 million at the box office, and you have helped launch the careers of stars such as Anne Hathaway, Shonda Rhimes, Blake Lively, Raven Simone, and more. But it's not just the big screen where you have found success. You have produced the hit TV show The Equalizer, starring Queen Latifah, which was recently renewed for its 5th season on CBS. You have also adapted your talents to the Broadway stage, earning 2 Tony Awards for co-producing A Strange Loop and Top Dog, Underdog. We also want to recognize the incredible 16 combined Tony nominations for your most recent co-productions of The Outsiders and Illinois. Your ability to evolve and find success is a consequence of your own education in the liberal arts and sciences as a graduate and former trustee of Mount Holyoke College and Harvard Law School. You continue to give back to the community through not only your work on the screen, but also through numerous committees and boards focused on social change and sustainability. Deborah Martin Chase, in recognition of your extraordinary achievements and the example you have set for generations of young leaders to follow, we are proud to present you with the highest honor we can bestow.
This is the moment. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of the Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you, Deborah Martin Chase, the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters with all the rights and privileges thereto. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I forget this part.
They get the degree. Okay. Okay.
Now that we have conferred on her a degree, we're going to make her do a little bit of work and to offer her thoughts. It really is my sincere pleasure to introduce to all of you Deborah Martin Chase to reflect on her remarkable career with our students and our community. Thank you.
And it even stopped raining. Hello, class of 2024. This day will forever represent one of the greatest milestones in your life. Whether you're the first in your family to graduate from college, or you are part of a Gettysburgian family, you're standing today on the shoulders of your family and your ancestors. You are each the bridge between everything that's been done to help you arrive at this moment, the hard work, the sacrifices, the prayers, and your future, unwritten, filled with endless possibilities for you to do and accomplish anything that you want to. You have done it. My congratulations to the parents, the families, the friends, and the loved ones who have played essential roles in reaching today. I'm sure many of you thought that this day was never going to come, particularly given how it started in the middle of the pandemic, but it did, and it's glorious, and the rain stopped to celebrate it for us. My sincere thanks to President Giuliano, the esteemed faculty, administration, board, and everyone in the Gettysburg College community for inviting me here to speak today and to receive this great honor. My grandfather was a Pullman porter on the railroad, a very good aspirational job for a black man of his time. My cousins are here with me today, so our grandfather died before we were born. Although he did not finish high school, he was by all accounts a prolific reader, a lover of opera, and a devoted student of American history. So how wonderful it is for me to be standing here today on his shoulders, surrounded by the spirit of Lincoln and of men and women who've given their lives in the hopes of creating a more perfect union. At a college founded by an anti-slavery theologian on land donated by an abolitionist who wrote the 14th Amendment. From its very inception, your college has clearly been designed to prepare students, to prepare you to do great work. And I'm sure that was a big factor in you deciding to come here. Everything that has transpired in the almost 200-year history of this august institution has been designed to provide you, every member of this graduating class, with an excellent liberal arts education, a consequential education so that you can lead a consequential life. But what does it actually mean to live a consequential life? The word consequential literally means of importance, of significance, something that matters. And I, like this college, believe that each of us was put on this earth to do something that matters. However, that meaningful contribution can be made in infinite number of ways. You can be a parent, you can be a teacher, you can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, and I think you can even be a film and TV and stage producer. At least for right now, some of you have an answer. You have a direction that you will be following as of tomorrow. But I dare say that for most of you, this will be one of the most important questions of your life. What is your purpose? What is that thing that you are going to do that matters? Finding that answer that is uniquely yours won't be easy. There'll be ups, there'll be downs, there'll be twists, there'll be turns, and I guarantee you there will be some failure. But if you do the work and you stay the course in finding your purpose, you will also find personal happiness and fulfillment. So as we send you off today on your journey, I want to share with you 5 lessons I've learned over the years on my own journey to lead a consequential life. Number 1, you must believe in yourself. You must believe not only that you are capable of achieving everything that you want to, but that you are worthy. We often look around at others and compare ourselves, and we see our shortcomings and we think other people have more. Social media only exacerbates that situation by letting people put out very carefully curated, seemingly perfect visions of their life. But the truth is, nobody's life is perfect. Everyone has insecurities and things about themselves and their lives that they want to be different. Know that in most cases, the difference between where you are and where you want to be is the degree to which you are honest with yourself and your willingness to do the hard work to get there. Because if you believe in yourself, then number 2, you can bet on yourself. And it's necessary to take some calculated risks in life to find your path to your consequential life. I've always been enthralled with film and television. My father was the biggest film and television buff that I knew. I grew up in a household where we watched TV, and I was that kid that was in the movie theater every weekend. But I never saw anybody who looked like me, and I never heard about anybody who looked like me that was creating content. So when it came time for graduate school, I had the application for USC Film School, the dream here, and the application for Harvard Law School, the practical choice here. I had to take care of myself. I needed to make money for myself, so I went the practical route. In the 7 years following law school, I had 4 different legal jobs, and I took off a very painful year to ostensibly be a freelance writer, but really to escape my law firm, where I was working crushing hours, and I had no time to think about what I wanted to do with my life. I was a really good lawyer, but I was motivated by a fear of failure. I didn't love it, and I didn't feel like what I was contributing as a corporate lawyer mattered. It didn't matter to me. Newly divorced and approaching 30, an urgency set in to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I cast my net around, thought about different things, and then I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, why not go for the big dream, a career in film and television? And if I didn't do it then, when was I gonna do it? I did not wanna wake up now saying, if I coulda, shoulda, woulda, what if? Yes, it was a tough industry to get in. No, I had no idea how I was gonna get into it. But I thought, other people are getting jobs in Hollywood, so why not me? I also understood the power of images on screen to break down prejudices and stereotypes, and the possibility of inspiring people and having a voice in our culture was incredibly exciting to me. So I decided to bet on myself. I was still working as a lawyer, but I spent a year learning everything I could about the movie business. And I figured out I wanted to either be a studio executive or a producer. With a specific goal, I could make a plan. I ended up going into an executive development program at Columbia Pictures. For 2 years, I made no money. And I lost my status. I was no longer the lawyer walking into the room. I was like basically the intern. But I loved what I was doing for the first time. I loved where I was headed. And I was working as hard as I worked at my law firm, but because I loved it, it didn't feel like work in the same way. And all of that led me here today, standing before you to talk about the journey. Figuring out what you love is the key to success. Now, there's one more thing about taking risks. At some point, you are going to fail. That comes with the territory. But honestly, from failure, I have learned some of my most important lessons in life. For example, the year as a freelance writer, I considered to be one of failure. Even though I had voluntarily left my law firm, a few months in, I was lost, confused, and really depressed. In fact, my 28th birthday, I spent it on my couch in my house crying my eyes out because I was like, I'm lost. I don't know that I'll ever achieve what I want to. But in retrospect, that experience set the stage for the next phase of my life because it forced me for the very first time in my life to define success for myself and to really understand that if I was going to find true happiness and true well-being, I needed to figure out my real purpose. Number 3, know when to hold them and know when to fold them. In my 20s, I had a very good friend who was a TV news reporter, and she interviewed an incredibly successful Nobel Prize-winning scientist. At the end, she asked him how he had been able to achieve so much in his life. And he responded quite simply that he had learned that sometimes you need to stop what's doing that's not working and move on to the next thing, because otherwise you're wasting time. Similarly, I recently read a quote on this point from the late Charles Munger, who not only was Warren Buffett's right-hand man and the architect of his business philosophy, but he was a famous card player. And Charlie said, quote, "What you have to learn is to fold early when the odds are against you. Or if you have a big edge, back it heavily because you don't get a big edge often." Almost a decade ago, I had been affiliated with the Walt Disney Company for 20 years. The company and its executives have been incredibly supportive of me, and we had a good run, some pretty good successes. Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella, Princess Diaries, Cheetah Girls. But towards the end of that period, I just could not get a movie going. Nothing was connecting, and I had no idea why. My first instinct was to double down, to continue working in the same way that I had for the years that had led to the success. Still nothing was working. And eventually, we decided to part ways. It was time to fold them. Stepping away, I eventually realized that for 20 years, I'd been doing my business in the same way, with the same goals, and I'd become stale. Disney had changed, the business had changed, audience had changed, the world and even I had changed, and therefore I needed to figure out a new business model. Once again, I took a year of exploration. I got out of the Hollywood bubble. I met new people, I went to conferences, I opened myself up to new ideas. And in the process, I got back in touch with myself, with that voice in my head that tells you what's in your heart. And I started thinking about what I still wanted to say as a filmmaker, what I still wanted to contribute to the culture. At the end of that year, I very enthusiastically wrote a new business plan. And I looked at it kind of like a term paper at the end of this course on rebooting my life. And honestly, within weeks, the universe responded with incredible, unexpected opportunities. Out of the blue, I got a call from Paulina Obokwe, the then head of Universal Television, asking me if I would like to bring my company to hers. I had been developing the movie Harriet for years, and all of a sudden, there was real momentum to make the movie. Opportunities were coming once again, and so in the words of Charlie Munger, I leaned in heavily and seized them. And this post-reboot period, I'm still in it, and it's good. You will probably have a number of jobs and careers in your life. It's the nature of our economy today. And again, it'll take you time to find the things that's right, that's your purpose. You need to figure out when to hold. You need to figure out when to fold. But staying in touch with yourself, with that voice in your head, will help you know what you want to accomplish, both personally and professionally, and let that help guide you on the journey. Number 4, surround yourself with people who support you. I'm incredibly lucky to have parents who told me I could do anything, a family that supported me, and lots of good friends. Upon reflection, I started making really my lifelong friends in college, like you. I was a public school kid, and college was the beginning of being in environments where there was self-selection, and so the likelihood of finding kindred spirits was greater. I bet you guys understand what I'm talking about. I remain particularly close to my law school network because we were in the trenches together, so we just bonded for life. As I previously said, I went to Hollywood to fulfill my dream, making film and television. Figured other people were doing it, I could too. But what I really didn't understand is that there was nobody who looked like me. There was no black woman who was doing what I wanted to do, making mainstream big studio movies. And while, and Hollywood is an incredibly competitive environment. So while I wasn't greeted with open hostility, nobody was opening their arms to say, come on in, Deborah. There were, of course, wonderful people that I found who championed me and mentored me, and I had peers who were making their way, but the path for me to achieve my goals meant that I had to be a first in many ways. I didn't intend for that to be, but that was the reality. It wasn't easy. I felt like I was constantly taking 2 steps forward, only to take a step and a half back. And it was emotionally draining. But I was able to rely upon my wonderful friends and family who, by and large, gave me unconditional support, who also every now would take me on vacation with them so I could get away, and who just wanted me to win. I would periodically look down and I realized, oh my God, there's no net. Like I can just fall through. But I would also see their smiles, their faces of encouragement, and it kept me going. So similarly, the friends you have made here and the incredible alumni network that you are now a part of can be some of the most important resources in your entire life. And I encourage you to continue to nurture and treasure them. Number 5, when the door closes, a window will open. This has been one of my most important and impactful lessons in life. And at this point, having seen it play out successfully so many times over the years, this mantra has become a source of peace and power for me. When you've done the work to know what is your purpose and are in touch with the voice inside of you and begin to take steps towards your goal, everything still isn't going to fall right into place. But know that under those circumstances, when the door closes, when that thing that you think you must have in order to succeed does not happen, it is most often because there is something even better for you, better than you ever anticipated, behind the window that will open. In the early in my career, my mentor was ousted as chairman of Columbia Pictures, and I desperately wanted to leave the company. I was up for a job overseeing the development of projects for a really big movie star. I was vetted over 2 months. I was certain I had to have this job in order to advance my career. I didn't get it. I was so disappointed, and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? My career has stalled. A couple of weeks later, By pure chance, I met Denzel Washington on my way to lunch on the Sony lot. The little voice said, go introduce yourself. One thing led to another, and I went to work for him the following week, running his production company at TriStar Pictures. It was the perfect job for me. I took the journey with him from Oscar-winning actor for Glory to big male movie star, and I learned so much along the way. Had I gotten the job I thought that I had to have, I would not have been available to get the job that was perfect for me. The door closed and the window opened. In the early 2000s, we were preparing to shoot Sister of the Traveling Pants that summer. We had a script that was good, we'd put together a good cast, and we were moving towards a green light. Suddenly, a new movie package came into Warner Brothers and they pushed us to the following summer. I was devastated. I'd been working for years to put this movie together, and there was a part of me that was sure that was the end. It was never going to happen. But it turned out that the extra time let us make a much better movie. The script went from good to great. Except for America Ferrara, we recast the young women. Alexis Bledel and Amber Tamblyn previously had not been available because of their TV commitments. And Blake Lively had just gotten an agent a month before she came in to audition for us. Sisterhood was her very first job in life. And the rest, as they say, is history. When the door closes, the window will open. Having experienced this phenomenon so many times in my life, I now create a vision of what I want to accomplish. I do the work. I do everything possible to position myself for success. And then I let the voice begin our mantra. What is meant for me will come to me. If you believe in yourself and have learned to bet on yourself, it will work. Okay, those are my 5 lessons that I wanted to share with you today. And I realize I am one of the last things standing between you, your degree, the parties, the celebrations, and the rest of your life. I wish you good fortune. I hope that you find your purpose and happiness and fulfillment. I wish each of you a very consequential life. Stay gold. Thank you.
That was phenomenal, Deborah. Thank you for delivering such a personal, inspiring, and thought-provoking set of comments to our soon-to-be graduates. And with that, we will now proceed with the formal recognition of the bachelor's degrees.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree please rise if you are able? President Giuliano, these students have completed all requirements leading to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I ask you to confer upon them this degree.
This is the moment. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you the degree of the Bachelor of Arts. I admit you to the rights and privileges which pertain to the bachelor's degree, and I charge you to use responsibly the learning and the insight that you have acquired. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree please rise if you are able? President Giuliano, these students have completed all requirements leading to the degree of Bachelor of Science. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I ask that you confer upon them this degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science. I admit you to the rights and privileges which pertain to the bachelor's degree, and I charge you to use responsibly the learning and the insight that you have acquired. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Music please rise if you are able? President Giuliano, these students have completed all requirements leading to the degree of Bachelor of Music. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I ask you to confer upon them this degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees at Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Music. I admit you to the rights and privileges which pertain to the bachelor's degree, and I charge you to use responsibly the learning and the insight that you have acquired. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Please rise. President Giuliano, these students have completed all requirements leading to the degree of Bachelor of Music Education. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I ask you to confer upon them this degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Music Education. I admit you to the rights and privileges which pertain to the bachelor's degree, and I charge you to use responsibly the learning and the insight that you have acquired. Congratulations.
You may be seated.
Following the ROTC acknowledgements, graduates will come forward at the direction of the student marshals. Out of respect for the entire graduating class, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until the end of the diploma presentation. According to academic tradition, the class of 2024, salutatorian and valedictorian will receive their diplomas last.
Will our senior members of the Gettysburg College ROTC cadets please stand? Graduates and families, later today, these Gettysburg College ROTC cadets with the Blue Mountain Battalion will commission as United States Army officers. They have stepped forward in the spirit of this land to advance and protect the freedoms we hold dear. Please join me in extending our deepest thanks for their valor and their service. You may be seated.
for the degree Bachelor of Arts, okay, let's do that again. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, President of the Senior Class, John Bernard Comegno III. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, Summa Cum Laude, Vice President of the Senior Class, Giovanna Grace Comst. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, Treasurer of the Senior Class, Gwyneth Ann Michaels. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, Magna Cum Laude, Secretary of the Senior Class, Natalie Ann Peck. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, Garrett Joseph Adams. Emmanuel Oluwadamilare Ajevole. Ryan William Allen. Casey Lee Andermanis. Rebecca Ashdot. Meha Athwal. Michael Allen Berry. David Allen Bancroft. It's canceled. Taylor Amar. Isabella Rose Barca. Ellie Martel Bentz. Emma Therese Bernstein. Reese Robert Bianco. Marielle Suzanne Bickoff. Naji Akil Blackman. Allison Emily Bordeaux. Alex Holt Bove. Erin Elizabeth Boyle. Zoe Amelia Bremner. Samuel David Burke. Chase Michael Burker. Alberto John Caba. Cassidy Glee Callahan. Zane Axel Carlson. John Francis Caruso. Andrew Benjamin Casher. Jonathan Sermeno. Ryan Paul Cernuto. Antoinette Marie Changeau. Michael James Serco. Mason Andrew Clark. Patrick Andrew Clementi. Riley Noel Clipson. Aiden Evan Cohn. Carolyn Ella Campoli. Dylan Anthony Conkling. Michael Vincent Connolly. Matthew Peter Coward. Kayla Cruz. Evelyn Christine Dottie. Samuel Webster DeBrandt. Isabella Kathleen Deo. Cameron Gino DeJulius. Michael Stephen Del Grande. Rachel Diaz Hernandez. Daniela Shannon Diggins. Genevieve Marguerite Dixon. Andrew David Donlan. Jake Stewart Dressler. James Douglas Duke. Joshua Anthony Edwards. Matthew Aiden. Nicole Taranay Elahian Lopez. Aliyah Brianna Ellerby. Timothy John Farley. Evan James Farron. Aiden Robert Fulner. William Herbert Furman. Liam Jeremiah Foley. Aliyah Maya Ford. Jacob Anthony Frisco. Angela Marie Frola. Dylan Jacob Galgano. Michael Andrew Galos. James Thomas Galvin. Jake Anthony Gandolfo. Justina Geneva Garcia. Brooke Gardner. Megan Rose Giannunzio. Thomas Bain Gill. And Antonio David Giordano. Lawrence Donald Goodman. Kenneth Laird Gould IV. Henry Sinclair Grinnell. Michaela May Guerrero. Tristan Opoku Gyamfi. Sohail Hajri. Ishvan Hanjias. Abigail Elizabeth Herb. Danny Alicia Hernandez. Caitlin Emily Hirsch. Jane Bryn Hopper. Liam Joseph Horan. Drew Baylor Hurley. Anna Imri. Sebastian James Ippolito. Ayatollah Jeter. Andrew Hayden Johnson. Harrison Ian Jones. Alexander Lloyd Kagan. Is that you? Joe Stephen Carvois. Lucas Max Kaufman Laduc. James Edgar Keegan. Nathan White Keeley. Devon Therese Kelty. Jacob Kennel. Jacob Anthony Kazmarski. Sadie Koenig. Guadalupe Lazaro. Jack Andrew Levine. Lee Zeyang. Eric Stephen Lip. Carla Jade Lomastro. Miguel Angel Lopez. Sophia Ann Luckenbaugh. Cassandra Rose Lewing. Mario Enrique Luna Rodriguez. Grace Helen McDonald. Kayla Riley McDonald. Lindsay Putnam Maloney. Daniel Lee Margolis. Gabrielle Lauren Marcunas. Conrad Joseph Martins. Samantha Jane Martin. Quinton Strong Mather. Cooper Anderson Matthews. Ryan Patrick McAndrew. Sarah Grace McAndrew. Jarvis McGrath. Ryan Valentine McKeon. Christopher Michael Mergner Jr. Ryan Kenneth Monaco. Jennifer Araceli Manje Gualpa. Timothy James Murillo. Isa Alexandria Murphy. Jack Michael Murphy. Tristan Victor Niels. Khan Pham Nok Nguyen. Emily Carolyn O'Hara. Teague David Olweiler. Lauren Yvonne O'Neill. John Ozdemir. Olivia Grace Palermo. David Matthew Perella. Lance Stephen Parthamore. Grace Ann Patricia Pauling. Michael Christian Peck. Elabelle Juliette Bloom Peterson. Max Timothy Pernetti. Caitlin Deanne Peterson. Drew Patrick Pettinelli. Kayla Mackenzie Fennessy. Cole Thomas Pillion. Jacqueline Pina Perez. Kamaya Angelina Pitts. Alexandra Pond. Matthew Christopher Pryor. Caitlin Nicole Priori. Thomas Charles Prisco. Daisha Altagracia Quesada. Adriana Fernanda Quinones Solano. Delaney Ann Rabinold. John Francis Reynolds. John Dante Riccardi. Michaela Shaofu Rice. Declan Moriarty Rocket. Alexia Vecca Danielle Romaine. Tyler Joseph Rosenberg. Sophie Chase Roth. Nozimat Yawande Salami. Tyree Teresa Sanchez. Anthony Sanchez Martinez. Leo Orem Satamini. Dylan Joseph Savetskas. Henry Cooper Schmelzer. Shane Justin Scott. Brian Anthony Short. Charles Ripley Simon. Caden Bernard Simons. Christopher David Singleton. Lauren Elise Sinton. Jacob Thomas Slimbach. Max Amara Smith. Peyton Cole Southwick. Ryan Michael Sparks. Robert Andrew Spencer. Audrey Anna Stearns. Devin Anthony Stennett. Corin Stevenson. Brendan Douglas Stry. Salma Suarez. Ilana Subramanya. Pierce Harrington Susco. Michael Joseph Sutera. Joseph James Swiston. Canfori Bademba Silla. Andrew Peter Tamani. Alexander Lawrence James Tate. Grace Ann Marguerite Tillman. Lisa Brooke Thurman. Julia Marie Topetsis. Avery Michael Torres. Alexander Valentin Zankov. Brianna Isis Valadez. Emmanuel Villasenor. Michael Marshall Voringer. Levi Waxter. Jackson Charles Wingert. Aidan Wisniewski Campo. Alexandra Isabel Yao. Allison Mary Yen. Catherine Elizabeth Zane. For the degree Bachelor of Science, Anna Lynn Aston. Anahi Bautista Cervantes. Joseph Richard Kite Binko. Gabriel Santos Bonilla. Russell Haynar Canova. Cody Charles Clausius. Allegra Rose Colavita. Kaylee Elhaje Conde. Tara Rose Cushing. Benedict Leonard Del Baggio IV. Luke Farrell D'Amato. Arden Hummel Dowd. Samantha Leah Duverge Portes. Divya Gautam. Neve Edith Gorman. Olivia Grace Graft. Madeline Ann Gianna Hare. Julia Monique Hartnett. Gurney Tanya Henry. Barana Jean. Madeline Dillon Krug. April Garzi Liang. Dongyang Lee. Isabel Alt Luger. Sarah Victoria Margaritas. Jane Tierney McGrath. Lorena Mendez Cortez. Matthew Ryan Mikulka. Charles Wetmore Morgan. Christopher Nikias. Jack Patrick O'Neill. Teresa Marie Pimentel. David Joseph Preziuso. Jacob Dennis Kwasny. Hannah Elizabeth Suave. Samantha Page Stadler. Paul Louis Solman. Juliana Lauren Swanson. Kylie Ulrich. Terrell Vernoil. Vichika Young. Jonathan Zwang. Bachelor of Music, David Guthrie Grant. Dylan Jackson Hewitt. Adela Adalgiza Holohan. Thomas Francis Lynch IV. Bachelor of Music Education, Benjamin Philip McCarley. Bachelor of Arts, cum laude, Jamil Charlie Abanto. Oluwafa Dekembi Oyen Consola Abula. Ethan James Anderson. Sadicha Bhattarai. Danielle Raquel Blocking. Emily Ann Cerula. Jason Kenneth Chase. Nathaniel Richard Comey Morog. Molly Grace Kojre. Gausu Kolibali. Sophia Rose Crawford. Allegra Rose de Candia. Andrew Casey Deck. John Jagger Demis. Elizabeth Carroll Drew. Evan Miller Drummond. Esther Ike. Nathan Luke Eller. Marla Germel Ferrer. Woods Nickel Floyd. Anna Catherine Garst. Eleanor Grace Gass. Carolyn Juliana Gill. Tiffany Leanne Gonzalez. Julia Marie Goland. Catherine Fitzgibbon Haley. Morgan Hobson. Bella Marie Hoffman. Abigail Rose Jemison. John Philip Kelter. Hunter Maxwell Alfred Klein. Lillian Claire Kreis. Karen Elizabeth Kanuksarol. Christopher John Lessel. Mike Farley Maratea. Brady James McGovern. William Martin McIntyre. Meave Ryan McManus. Sophia Rose Meyer. Kylie Sarah Murphy. Aaliyah Nicole Myers. William Bernard Newsom. Alexandra Noel Paragis. Hao Chin. Maro Ramadan. Hannah Isabel Repo. Haley Squire Rhine. Max Daniel Robbins. Mabel Ivana Rodriguez. Ella Isabel Rosen. John Mark Rosenberg. Charles Christopher Sawitsky. Nathaniel Schneller. Jeffrey Lewis Siebold Jr. Gentle Morel Sheridan. Gavin Simcox. Hunter Reed Sunland. Laurel Sue Teal. Owen Alexander Thayer. Hannah Victoria Vaccaro. Connor Vieno. Nicholas Gregory Weiss. Maria Elizabeth Velutis. Oscar Maximilian Winch. Wild Jordan Wintermute. Hope Lynn Visser. Christy Lynn Witkowski. Cole Parker Wong. Ella Catherine Zimmerman. Bachelor of Science cum laude, Rose Edith Amanda Ankariasniemi. Shannon Rose Bisel. Andrea Braziti. Nicole Caesar. Tierney Elizabeth Cantwell. Evan Anthony Conti. Thomas Paul Daddario. Thomas Charles Gordon. William Christopher Hausman. Brooke Elizabeth Loletta. Aidan James Ludka. Christian Francis McIntosh. Samuel Stefan Machka. Anna Corin Margaritas. Kyle James Miller. Domenico Giovanni Mirarchi. Jahan Manek Modi. Anya Suman Pant. Katie Rogers. Katie Rogers. Victoria Marie Runchi. Justin Peter Sowina. Bryn Arden Schoonover. Hannelyn Morgan Schwartzer. Declan Patrick Sheeran. Julia Elizabeth Smith. Logan Patrick Kaspersky Sodel. Allison Mary Strazzella. Anthony Emerson Fleming York. Bachelor of Music cum laude, Krista Marie Calderwood. Bachelor of Arts magna cum laude, Antonello Baggi. Laurel Elizabeth Bennett. Olivia Lauren Biggs. Lucy Marie Bourdeau. Archer Aaron Castle. Matthew Eugene Serbone. Audrey Coughlin. Grace Emily Dale Gockenauer. Jackson Dino. Abigail Ellen Dryden. Leila Salima Al-Shahawi. Alexia Yasmin Ferraro. Meredith Fletcher Follett. Elizabeth Joan Fascaldo. David Philip Goldman. Molly Robin Griffith. Lillian May Grachowski. Gabriel Paul Hauser. Megan Lynn Hughes. Alexis Jane Jones. Joseph Barr Jones. Carolyn Jennifer Jordan. Anna Vereen Joy. Stephanie Ann Kaminsky. Jack Damian Kane. Arthur Ignatius Keegan. Sophia Ann Kenny. Andrew Peyton Lemon. Alisa Liu. Daniela Lopez Larios. Ethan James Mariano. Felicia Maria Marks. Mia Nicole Martinez. Riley Devon McMullen. Ella Wallace Meyer. Robert Nathaniel Meyer. Caleb Addison Monroe. Gabriela Carolina Montero. David Nassimi. Olivia Willa Noonan. Angelina Soler Patarini. Megan Alyssa Peary. Hannah Gray Reinhardt. Gwen Elena Reese. Regan Kathleen Reitmeyer. Jocelyn Rosas. Jillian Lee Rosenfeld. James Patrick Shoemaker. Jacob Elijah Turtle. Matthew Adams Zorfas. Xiang Wang. Ashley Elaine Webb. Isabel Maria Williams. Zion Isaiah Williams. Natalie Yasmin Wisniewski. Emma Lou Wylam. Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude, Mary Grace Butler. Charlie Thomas Cross. Aiden James Desmond. Jamie Walsh Danella. Van Tu Din. Everett William Gillis. Julia Gruppo. Christina Marie Heliaduro. Isabella Ray Jensen. Meem Noshin Nawal Khan. Jenna Alice King. Malcolm Francis Lathrop Allen. Jajun Lu. Luke Philip John McKenna. Anna Rose McKnight. Jessica Taylor McThomas. Kevin Thomas Muhick. Heap Kwok Nguyen. Kwan Hong Nguyen. Chelsea Grace O'Leary. Callie Regina Pidoriano. Bailey Rosemary Quinn. Audrey Perina Ross. Jessica Grace Schaefer. Alexa Marie Schroeder. Jake William Sturgio. Emily Mary Sullivan. Dylan Lee Weber. Grace Catherine Wild. Braden Jack Wolf. Vaisal Gune Yilmaz. Michael Abraham Zaina. Bachelor of Music, magna cum laude. Emily Drew Femino. Sally Louise Federman. Delaney Rose Mavika. Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude, Noah Alexander Albanese. Patrick John Artur. Lily Laura Catherine Bauer. Jules Kolar Black. Clayton Alexander Brosend. Jillian Sarah Buckheister. Fiona Gloria Cheney. Jessica Ann Cromer. Hannah Rose Crowley. Brendan Edward Donnelly. Colin Sean Doherty. Lana Elizabeth Ebert. Rush Henry Earhart. Catherine Elizabeth Elser. M. Rose Eveland. Holly Nicole Ferrara. Madeline Louise Filetti. Rachel Catherine Fischler. Lakin Joy Franchetti. Heather Colleen Fusco. Alyssa Marie Gruneberg. Emma Rose Haladic. Molly Mackenzie Hoffman. Jacob Carl Hunkins. Carlianne Kirsch Jensen. Emily Rose Jamba. Shukirti Khadka. Jacob Andrew Krebs. Owen Alexander Labruna. Addison Elizabeth Lomax. Sydney Ella Lucero. Jeffrey Carl Mann. Elizabeth McCann. Riley Elizabeth Myers. James Michael Mikulski. Emma Caitlin Monzeglio. Chloe Mulak. Noelle Grace Muni. Tara Knoll. Alyssa Anna Papantanakis. Madeline Leje Platt. Alex Philip Rosado. Lana Maria Sader. Vanessa Loli Salinas. Julia Marie Shinnick. Mav Schmidt. Sarah Elizabeth Scott. Kelly Danielle Smolik. Julia Rose Spelker. Kaylee Marie Vasquez. Isabel Madison Wade. Julia McIntyre Wass. Alexandra Leah Ween. Peter Ulrich Weilgruber. Olivia Grace Wadogaza. Leslie Ann Wolf. Samantha Elizabeth Zaluki. Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude. Salim Al-Wazir. Lynn Mai Dam. Teresa Ann Dougal. Benjamin James Durham. Ryan Joseph Fury. Owen Philip Gilman. Sokuntiri Hyang. Catherine Jo Hopsicker. Albrun Marina Johnson. Noah Fenton Kennedy. Sarah Catherine McDonald. Michael Thomas McCarty. Jacqueline Rose Morin. Tam Nguyen. James Declan Premazic. Sierra Dominic Turbeville. Abigail Claire Zuccotti. Bachelor of Music, summa cum laude, Jennifer May Jordan. Bachelor of Music Education, summa cum laude, Jason Andrew Cebulski. Erica Lynn Messinger. Honors Salutatorian, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude, Avery Kathleen O'Neill. Honors Valedictorian, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude, Emma Marie Ortiz.
Family and friends, I now present to you the Gettysburg College Class of 2024. There is a special custom at commencement when graduates move their tassels from the right side to the left side, signifying their new status as bachelor degree holders. Members of the class of 2024, I now invite you to do so. Again, congratulations. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Al Wilkins, a member of the class of 2006 and the president of the Alumni Board of Directors.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you on this important day in your lives. On behalf of the 32,000 Gettysburg College Alumni Association members, I'd like to extend a heartfelt congratulations, class of 2024. It has become a tradition over the years that the Alumni Association presents the class with a stole of gratitude, which you guys are all wearing today, as a heartfelt congratulations. And in fact, it's the 20th anniversary of this tradition. While this is a gift to you, you in turn will honor the tradition by presenting the stole to someone who has touched and impacted your Gettysburg experience. It could be a family member, a friend, or perhaps a faculty or staff member. who played the significant role in helping you reach your goals here at Gettysburg College. I hope that you'll take the opportunity following today's ceremony to present the stole to someone who has made your Gettysburg experience special. I'm honored to officially welcome you to the Alumni Association, whose members have already played a large role in your Gettysburg career, and who are ready and willing to help you along the way. Please know how much we have been rooting for you and how honored we are to welcome you to stand with us, and we are eager to know you, connect with you, and support you as you move forward in life. Finally, I do want to acknowledge that for more than 192 years, your alma mater has been supported by engagement and the support of alumni, friends, and parents. I urge you to take this opportunity to become the leaders of your generation in continuing that tradition. Congratulations, congrats to all the families that are here celebrating and all the class of 24.
Thanks very much, Al. Well, now we're going to welcome back to the podium Adela Holohan from your class to lead us in the singing of the alma mater. The alma mater is printed on the inside back cover of your program. Adela will be accompanied by the Commencement Brass Ensemble. The ensemble will be playing the alma mater as arranged by Keith Gramis, a member of the class of 2013. After we complete the singing of the alma mater, the benediction will be pronounced. And the audience, if able, is asked to please rise.
Please be seated. Won't you pray with me? God of promise, God of truth and every good and perfect gift, I pray your blessing on this class of 2024. May they be braver and wiser than those who have come before them. Let the consequences of their education be a heart that is broken for the least of these among us. May they confound the wicked and disturb the coward. Give them lips that speak truth and ears to hear it. Let them not fear the terror by day or the arrow by night. Spare their lives that they might save 1,000,000 more. Let them make good trouble and plenty of it, never growing weary and well-doing. Amen and Ashe.
All right, we have a few announcements. Immediately after the commencement exercises, light refreshments will be served at our departmental receptions in the following locations. So the arts and the humanities will be in the atrium, social sciences and interdisciplinary programs in the bullet hole, and natural sciences, math, and computer science in the Science Center. A full list by major is available on the commencement website, which can be accessed on page 3 of your program. Following President Giuliano's charge to the class of 2024, we will begin our recessional. The graduates should follow the faculty down the center aisle and towards Memorial Field, which is essentially that way. We kindly ask that families remain in their seats until all of the graduates have departed the commencement site. Thanks very much.
It is now my honor to deliver the charge to the class of 2024. As is true for every generation, you are graduating into a world filled with both challenges and opportunities. You have spent the most formative years of your lives not just at any college, but at a college whose history and location compels us to honor the sacrifices of those who came before us with an unwavering resolve to find our voice and to lead with courage and conscience. In the spirit of Deborah Martin Chase's inspiring words today, my charge to you is simply this: be brave and know that you are worthy. You are worthy of this moment, every cheer and tear from those who love you. You are worthy of your education and the profound responsibility now entrusted to you to use it wisely and compassionately. You are worthy on being counted on, to rise to the great and unfinished work of our time. And lastly, you are worthy of leading a consequential life in service of a world that needs you. We know you will. Class of 2024, we believe in you. At this time, if you are able, I would ask all the graduates to please rise. You guys beat me to the punch, but yes. On behalf of the entire Gettysburg community, I want to thank our family, our friends, and our distinguished guests for joining us at commencement today. As president, it is now my high privilege to present our Gettysburg College graduates of the class of 2024. Congratulations again and do great work.